Here's a t-shirt. These are scissors. Go crazy. Do I look like a girl who cares that people look at me funny? Give me a few hours, I could so make that. Happy snipping! Hey viewers and Recon artists, I have another no-sew t-shirt project for you since you all know how much I hate to do anything permanent to any of my shirts should I want to change the design in the future. I ordered this shirt yesterday and it came in today. This is like the fastest shipping ever. I ordered this t-shirt from Ambiance. I'm signed up for their email newsletter since I went there a couple years ago with my friends, so I get a discount every year for my birthday, but I've never used it because I don't want anything else from there until I found out they had these t-shirts. In rainbow colors it says, "Take pride in your love life." I don't think you can see all the way to the bottom. And the logo in the corner says Ambiance, the store for lovers, which is their usual logo, and it has a carrot with the word all, so it says the store for all lovers. As soon as I saw this I knew I had to have it, so I ordered this t-shirt yesterday. It came in today, but of course it's a little bit baggy, so I did this to it, which is a pretty popular resizing technique just to kind of make the back look like a corset. There are various ways you can do this. You can cut out the entire back of the shirt and just lace across it so you actually have an open back corset look to your t-shirt, which is also very cool for the summertime in terms of temperature. And you can do either that or this design, keeping the entire back of the shirt by just poking holes in the sides of the shirt and lacing it through the holes. I didn't want to poke holes in this shirt, so what I did is I used tiny safety pins, gold dress pins, as well as the smallest size silver safety pins I had, and I lined them up along the side seam of the shirt and then tied those together. I know you can't see that right now, so I'm going to take the shirt off, not on camera, and show you how I did that so you could use it to resize some of your large t-shirts. Okay, so here is the shirt laying face up. I started with the shirt facing up because when I wrap it around the back, I want the front to be where the pins pull from instead of pulling from behind the seam and then maybe having less strength with it. So just along this side seam, this shirt does have seams on the side. On the front of the shirt side of the seam, I put these pins along the side. I used some small silver ones as well as some small gold ones, and I only used 6. I left about an inch of room under the armpit before the first one, and then skipped an inch in between, and I stopped before it got too far down toward my hips because I knew that there it would have to be a little bit bigger. So you may have to use more or less pins depending on how you actually want it to fit, but here, just let me show you how I did it. Taking the side of the seam, I left it folded over, and you can feel the 2 layers, and I just put it at the bottom of where I wanted it to be, put it only through the top layer, as far up as the pin will allow you to go, because you want to make sure that there's enough fabric in there that it won't just rip it straight out, and then at that point, poke the pin back out and fasten it, so you've got as much fabric as possible caught in the pin. Then, I folded the shirt over this way, and just folded it back a tiny little bit, so that I could match up where the pins go on both sides so it would be pretty even. Then on this side, do the same thing, doing it on the top side of the shirt, which is the front of the shirt when you unfold it. And again, on this side, match it up where the bottom of the pin goes, put it in as close to the seam on the front side as possible, using all the fabric you can until the very end of the length of the pin and fasten it there. So then, when we've got the pins in it, there's even more strength to it to pull, so it won't just directly rip out once you lace it and the pin pulls. You could also use the regular size pins. I used smaller ones because that way there would be even less room for the lacing to move around. But you could probably use them bigger, it'll just leave a little bit more leeway for your lacing to move. So at this point, both sides are pinned on the front. Flip the shirt over. I turned the 2 sides in and then took a lacing from my bodices from the medieval fair, my costumes that I wear, but you could also just use a really long ribbon, a really long lace of some sort. And then I started at the top, so you would want to lace it all the way through till the middle is in the center of the shirt. There's the center of my string, so that's about as far as it needs to go, and then I'll go through the other way. And then crisscross lace it like you're tying your shoes. There are lots of fancy ways to lace for those of you who may be really enthusiastic about lacing styles. There are a lot of really interesting detailed artistic things that people can do with lacing, but for the simplest thing, all you need to do is do this crisscross shoelace pattern. You might need an even longer lace than this one because when I got to the bottom it was just long enough. But continue that all the way to the bottom of the shirt, and when you get to the bottom, pull it tight. I'm lacing it much more loosely now because when I laced it tightly before it was hard for me to get the shirt on. So you may want to lace it loosely or lace it halfway and have someone else help you finish it off once you have it on. Because this way there's still this much room for me to get the shirt on. It's a little bit harder if you lace it all the way tight and then try to pull it on. But so you see when this shirt goes on, the two side flaps where you've pinned are folded in, making the overall size of the shirt smaller than it used to be. That's the basic idea of it, and like I said, you could also poke holes through the fabric along the sides here instead of where I pinned. You could just poke a hole straight through your side seam and tie those together. If you know that you want your shirt to remain in this style, that would be a good option because these pins could pull out, whereas holes might fray, but if you do them far enough in, they'll hold better, and you could also get really fancy and actually put grommets in there, which they sell at a lot of craft places, and so you just hammer them in on your own. But that's really all there is to it, so give this a try if you want to try the technique before actually cutting into one of your shirts, and I hope you enjoy it. There will be a link in the info section if you want to order one of these shirts for yourself. I had a 25% off discount for my birthday, but the shirts are $15. It comes in the V-neck style, a regular t-shirt, a tank top, and a sleeveless shirt. So thank you all very much for watching. I will see you next time, and until then, happy snipping. Goodbye. Or happy pinning, as it were.